So, dear children, what are the things that we have learned from this chapter? First thing, definition of computer memory. What is computer's memory? The amount of information stored inside the computer is called its memory. The amount of information stored inside the computer is called its memory. And then memory is divided into primary memory and secondary memory. Memory is divided into primary memory and secondary memory. Okay, primary memory is the main memory and it is used by CPU while processing data. Primary memory is the main memory and it is used by the CPU while processing data. And it holds instruction and result for short interval of time. It is a temporary memory. Primary memory is a temporary memory or volatile memory. It can hold instructions and results for short interval of time. And primary memory is again divided into RAM and ROM. RAM stands for random access memory and ROM stands for read-only memory. RAM stands for random access memory and ROM stands for read-only memory. Let us check what is the difference between RAM and ROM. RAM stands for random access memory and RAM is a volatile memory or it is a read or write memory. The speed and accuracy of a computer depends upon RAM. RAM is a temporary memory and it is a volatile memory and it is also known as read or write memory. That means we can read things and also we can write on it. Okay children. And next is ROM. ROM stands for read only memory. ROM stands for read only memory. It is a permanent memory or non-volatile memory. It is a part of primary memory but it is a permanent memory. And of ROM will be present even after we switch off the computer. So usually we use ROM to store system softwares or operating system. It is a permanent or non-volatile memory. And next is secondary memory. Today we discussed about secondary memory. Secondary memory is also called auxiliary memory. Secondary memory is also called auxiliary memory. Auxiliary means helping. Okay, secondary memory help primary memory to store data permanently. So that's why it is known as auxiliary memory. It belongs to storage devices. Okay, and it is permanent. So next is secondary storage devices. Secondary storage devices are divided into two sections, internal and external. Internal storage devices and external storage devices. Example for internal storage device is hard disk. Hard disk is fixed inside the CPU cabinet. Okay, it is not movable or it is not portable. So such storage devices are called internal storage devices. Example, hard disk. Hard disk is an example of internal storage devices. And next is external storage devices. External storage devices are portable or we can keep these external storage devices in shelf or pouch or somewhere outside the computer. Such secondary storage devices are called external storage devices. Example, pen drive, CD, floppy, all these are examples of external storage devices. So example for external storage devices are pen drive, compact disk and floppy disk. Okay, and next is unit of memory. Okay, memory is measured in bits and bytes. Memory is measured in bits and bytes. Okay, 1 bit is equal to the space needed to store either 1 or 0 in the memory. Okay, 1 bit is equal to the space needed to store either 1 or 0 in the memory. Here 1 and 0 represent binary digits. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits, or 8 bits are equivalent to 1 byte. 8 bits are equivalent to 1 byte, and 1024 bytes are equivalent to 1 kilobyte. 1024 bytes are equivalent to 1 kilobyte, or 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes, or 2 raised to 10 bytes. 2 raised to 10 means 2 multiply 10 times, then we will get 1024. Okay, so 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. See, we can connect this type of unit with centimeter or other units that we have already studied. Okay, so length is measured in centimeter, meter, kilometer, etc. As the distance increases, the unit also changes. Okay, similarly, as the memory amount of memory increases, the unit also changes to kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, etc. Okay, so 1 byte is equivalent to 8 bits. In the case of length, we know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter, or 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. Okay, all these are the conversions. All these are the unit conversion. Similarly, 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. 1 megabyte is equal to 1024 kilobytes. 1 gigabyte is equal to 1024 megabytes. Okay, 1 terabyte is equal to 1024 gigabyte. Okay, giga means what? Giga means giant. Giga means giant. Okay, so memory is measured in bits and bytes. Unit of memory, bytes. Unit of memory, bytes. And kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, all these units are used to measure memory. Okay. And here once again I am repeating, KB stands for kilobyte. KB stands for kilobyte. MB stands for megabyte. GB stands for gigabyte. TB stands for terabyte. All these things you should keep in mind, and also you should know how to convert from one unit to another unit. Okay, so next we are going to do some exercises, and by doing these exercises you will understand how to convert one unit to another unit. Okay, so 2 KB is equal to 2 into 1000. See, we already studied in 3rd standard and all. In 3rd standard, in maths, you already studied unit conversion, right? 1 meter is equivalent to what? 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeter. Okay, so if you want to convert 2 meter into centimeter, what we have to do? We have to multiply 2 into 100. We have to multiply 2 with 100. Okay, then we will get 200 centimeter. The same way, 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. Okay, 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. So 2 kilobyte is equivalent to what? 2 kilobyte is equal to 2 into 1024 bytes. And what about 3 megabyte? See, 3 megabyte is equal to 3 into 1024 kilobyte. Okay, and 4 gigabyte is equal to 4 into 1024 megabyte. Okay, first kilobyte, then megabyte, then gigabyte. That is the order. Okay, as the amount of memory increases, the unit changes from byte to kilobyte, then kilobyte to megabyte, and megabyte to gigabyte, and gigabyte to terabyte. Okay, this type of unit conversion you can expect in the examination. Okay, so you practice this type of questions. Okay, children. And next is what? Calculate the number of bytes required to store the following words. Okay, we are going to calculate the number of bytes needed to store the following words. First word, cat. Cat. Count the letters present in cat. 1, 2, 3. The 3 letters are there. So for storing one letter, we need 1 byte. Okay, not bit, 1 byte. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. So for storing one letter, we need 1 byte. That means 8 bits. Okay. So how many bytes are needed to store cat? 3 bytes are needed. And what about computer? How many letters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 letters are there. So we need 8 bytes to store computer in memory. Okay, next is New Delhi. And here you can see only 8 letters. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8 letters are present in New Delhi, but in between New and Delhi, one space is there, right? In between New and Delhi, one space is there. So that space is also considered as a character. In computer's memory, that space is also considered as a character. So we have to count that space also. So total number of bytes needed to store New Delhi is 9 bytes. Okay, so to store New Delhi, how many bytes are needed? 9 bytes. Okay, and next is also the same type of question. Tia Kapoor. See, we need to store Tia Kapoor in computer's memory, and here only 8 letters are present in this word, but in between Tia and Kapoor one space is there. So that is also considered as a character. So we need 9 bytes to store this word. Okay, children, you have to practice this type of questions. You just simply write some words and calculate the number of bytes needed to store all those words in computer's memory. Okay, only this much for today. Thank you so much. Bye.